Alright, gentlemen, last time we left off, you were on a sinking ship, for lack of a better term. A ship that is kind of like a hot air balloon that has a leak and is just slowly descending and can't go back up. You all decided you wanted to quickly scurry the ship to see if you can find some loot. So, let's have each of you roll to see if you're able to locate some.
I thought we located that last week.
We said that you guys were going to do that, but we never did roll to see who located. It's basically I'm
What
do a
role
check
are
to
you
see.
asking?
Probably
Perception or
perception
investigation?
check. Yeah, it'd be perception or investigation. I'll let you pick whichever you're better at in this case.
15! Better than average.
Really?
Well, you're welcome, guys, because 21.
Are you serious?
Yonovan's here, yay!
So we have a... Let me quickly jot these down.
Feel the rage. I rolled for it last time and did
perception
well.
or
If you remember what you rolled
or
last time for it,
I rolled a
we can
20.
use that.
I got an 18 last time. That's why I was like, we rolled for this already.
That's fine then. Let me start recording it. I know everyone didn't, so that's why I need to get them down here. So, all right. List your name slowly. List your name and then list your roll so I can get them all down.
Talon, you got 11.
Cookie, 15.
Air quotes Yonovan, 18.
Cleoc, 21.
Rio, 20.
Excellent. That'll be nice. Let's see. That means two of you got that, one of you got that, and one of you got that. All right. So. Each of you are able to find a container containing the following objects that will be sent to you on Discord. So give me just a moment here and I will send them to you. All right, there's two of you. There's... All right, and I have the last two gents to send their details to.
Cool. Cool.
I believe everyone got one there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, then we will carry on. You each run back up after scurrying the ship and tell the captain. He's like, all right, time to go back to our ship. And you guys all disappear, and you're back on home ship.
How's the home ship looking?
You see some people are definitely in need of some medical attention, but all in all, better than the other ship.
Well, you see, the problem with failure.
Yeah.
You're saying yours doesn't?
I'm unaware of it.
It's probably, yes, we're not aware of it.
Exactly. But you did make it back, all with your respective loot.
Well, let's put it this way. If Emrakul dies, I'm pretty sure I'm still going to be breathing.
That is true.
We're still probably going to lose the fight if Emrakul dies, but
At the same
among
time,
other potential problems.
yes,
but,
he's the one who knows how to navigate around. So
I'm
he may
aware.
not be sinking.
Be a slow death.
All right, so you're now back on ship. You've completed your missions. What do you seek to do?
I'm gonna try not to blow up some holes in the wall.
All right, strategize what you guys want to do. I need to step off for just one moment.
Well, I want to go back to port,
I'm scared.
and I want to find more books of this prior cut guy, who's awesome.
I don't know. Those spells seem to be pretty hit or miss.
You're fun to talk.
I fixed the hole in the ship. All right.
Yeah, but you're pretty hit or miss.
Well, technically, everyone is hit or miss when they attack.
I'm just more miss lately. I say as I look down at the ground.
Okay, I've he took away the roller.
Yep. But at least I have my own d20s.
I don't need a d20.
I do for skill checks.
Need a d4.
He can easily add d20s to the table.
Yeah.
So Cleok has a few things on that he wants to do on the way to port. One of them is find an appropriate ranged weapon to go with his new subclass, longbow.
I hold on to my boom boomstick.
Which is interesting because I have 20 plus 1 arrows.
Anyway, Cleok could be looking for a longbow. He'll be a little bit curious about Emrakul's newly discovered powers, at least to him. Since he had no idea Emrakul was capable of such powerful feats of magic. Three, and maybe almost most immediate. Taking a long rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm at 4 HP, so yeah, long rest would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah. We can all use a long rest. Ho ho ho. Good metal die. My friend.
There are how many of us in the party? 5, right? Okay. This was never distributed from the very start of the journey, so I'll distribute it to you now. Everyone gets 59 gold pieces.
You guys
hey.
are rich.
Does this mean we're sharing our loot from the ship?
Not
That's up to
necessarily.
you guys. You each acquired one thing.
Okay.
So what you were sent is yours. It's up to you whether you want to all put it together or not.
Okay.
Oh, that's what I found? Dang.
Yes,
Yeah.
what I sent each of you is what you found. Everyone
Right.
else got something different.
We might want to trade based on what we have and what our skills are.
Yes.
Just saying.
I kind of like the idea of keeping certain things, but we haven't distributed everything yet. Cookie's held on to it, which is why I'm giving you that.
That's
Okay.
fine.
But we've got a few other items that I don't know if they do anything.
Yeah.
The rope of eyelids, I'll need the description again for.
was
I
fun.
can't
I
find
should
it.
have sent it to you because I don't remember. I don't have that handy. So
Pretty sure this Eternal Fire of Aramon is just a piece of book.
Just a piece of book.
Yes. With a really great title.
Piece of
Worth-
bark.
My ears, they bleed.
Sounds like a song title. My ears, they bleed for you.
Oh, and everyone has desert gear.
Yep.
You should
Yep.
write that down. Because I'm not going to keep track of it.
It's on my sheet. So Cleog actually would share his bounty, split it evenly.
It's not necessarily something evenly to split.
Our gold needs vary anyway, and we consume them at varying rates as well.
As evenly as possible.
You'll have to make note of that specifically because we all got different things.
I think, Cleox, that's probably unnecessary.
Yeah.
the other thing is you may want to have a common bank account that someone is the administrator
Keeper of.
over for kind of the group funds, so that if there's someone needs a little bit extra or the group
Maybe-
needs something, there's a group fund.
Maybe I should put it this way. In this case, Cleog would not hide what he found.
Fair
That's
enough.
fine.
That's fine.
So, I found like 270 gold, 20 of these +1 arrows, but no one uses arrows. So, I've got a really cool ointment I think I'll keep track of because it cures. By the way, I need a D4, DM.
A D4?
Yeah.
Okay.
It cures like a healing potion, and it cures poison and diseases at the same time. And I have 5 applications of it.
There you go.
Yay for max roll.
Right? And these are all just, like I said, this whole campaign is just random shenanigans. So
Now,
all this stuff
we've
has
got
just been random.
3 potions of healing left over from all the ones that I had and all the ones in the bag we were given. Does anybody want to hold on to one?
That's unnecessary for me.
I mean, it would be good for multiple people to have at least one, just so we can. So if
Yeah.
you go down, you don't have to dig through your stuff to res you.
Yeah.
Right. But it would be good to know who's those on, so that's kind of what he's asking.
Right.
Who should
Who's
we
the-
talk to?
Who's the tankier one?
Well,
So I posted what my what was in my stash. And
okay, so you've got a potion of healing now.
I do.
So you don't.
I'm
Okay.
going to give these to the other party members besides me and you. So James, Yonovan, or
I don't need them either. I have 2.
okay, you've got 2. That's fine. I'll give 1 to James, 1 to Rio. You hear me, Rio?
So Ryu and Talon both will have one health
Okay.
potion.
I may not
Doc-
necessarily be able to use all of the scrolls.
Is it 1d8 healing?
It's actually a 2d4 plus 2. Standard potion of healing. At least everyone has a potion of healing.
Right.
Right. And
That's
which is
good.
kind of funny, because that was totally random. I didn't even see what I sent you guys.
That's great. That's great.
I saw one person's, and that's because I had to do a double take because it was a shorter list. Because they lumped more into the monetary instead of the other items.
You got close to the same amount of money that most of the rest of us got. Maybe a little bit better, Yonovan. Pretty nice haul there.
I hand the spices to Cookie.
Oh, you got spices.
Yep. Now you have spices.
Question.
Small bag
Mr.
of
D.
spices, 25 gold.
Question, Mr. DM.
Yes, sir.
You put in my loot list 2x quartz, 50 GP.
Yep.
Is that the total amount of the quartz, meaning each quartz is worth 25, or is each quartz 50 GP and I got
That's
2
a
of them?
great question.
That is
We'll
a
go
great.
with the latter because it sounds cool.
I'm pretty sure it's they're listed separately.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's why I said the latter because it sounds cool. Because
That's what I expected, but I
That's-
wanted to make
yeah.
sure on
no,
that.
absolutely no. Well done. No, I appreciate you checking. It's one of those things that it's like, I didn't see that because I didn't really look. They're just random gen.
We can sneak into some fancy parties now. I got some fur.
And just to make sure that the
Sorry.
money distribution is in tens. So 1,200 silver would be the equivalent of 120 gold.
Right.
Yeah,
That's correct.
Right.
10, 10, 10 for each.
But a,
Yep.
but a bank converts them.
Yes, of course.
Probably with a fee.
Now, we also have to keep in mind how much weight the coins are.
You'll
Yeah,
all
which
be
is really useful
probably-
when you have a bag of holding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll probably all be depositing it, or
Yeah.
turning it into gems when you get to port.
Yep.
You guys did notice when you were in town last, there was this thing called the Galactic Bank, but you didn't know what it was. And you overhear some of the others who had went to the ship and you'd seen come back with their own little boxes, talking about how, this thing weighs a ton, I'm going to have to put it in the bank. And then one saying, yeah, I need to do that too so I can make sure my wife can pull some out. She's back on, they say some planet name you've never even heard of. It sounds like gibberish to you. And Gary comes up to you guys because he sees you guys kind of are listening and wondering. He's like, are you guys all right? You seem to be puzzled about what they're talking about.
Bank? We haul our money with us.
Ah, well, actually, there is institutions that will allow you to deposit your earnings and thereby withdraw them at any of their other locations across the systems.
How do the other locations know that you have money in their banks?
Magic.
Of
They're,
course.
they're the race
wow.
that actually creates the devices that allow the ships to fly. They're not a group that anyone wants to upset.
I can understand that.
Because it basically is meaning you then, lose your ability to fix your
The
ship.
spice must flow.
So,
they're
do not
over the
rob
bank,
the bank.
and yeah, exactly. I think they have like some teleport system network, or they send info somehow to each other. I don't know exactly how they do it, but it's always been accurate.
Huh.
Good to know.
Cool.
It's a
No
lot
one ever
easier-
looked at their books close enough to live to tell about it. Whatever works, man. Whatever works.
They're the goblins of the society, remember, Tom?
I'm a little bit pessimistic about it, but that's okay. If it works, it works.
I'm overly trusting.
They're the goblins of Harry Potter. Come on.
You'll actually find that some people carry pieces of paper that actually state how much is in their bank, different values, and those can actually be withdrawn from their account, so they can just carry pieces of paper instead of chests of gold.
Huh.
That sounds flammable.
Sounds dangerous.
It's actually not flammable. It has enchanted script on it, and that preserves it from burning.
Of course.
Holy Knights.
Would you like to see a demonstration?
I would.
So this piece of paper is a representation of my wealth.
Sure.
So
He pulls out-
I can imagine Gary, pulling out like something that says like 100 on it and has the picture of
actually,
pick
here's what
a
happens.
race.
Here's what happens.
Oh.
Gary pulls out of his shirt this piece of paper, and you see on it, it says 50 gold pieces, and it has a number on there. And you see him walk over to the fire and just drop it, just set it in there, and nothing happens. And then he puts it back in his shirt.
Huh.
On
So
the
you get any
back,
warmer.
on the back, you see some arcane scrawlings. and you each actually see it in a different language. So you're going to have a lovely debate between each other. Yonovan, you saw 100 gold pieces written in Dwarvish. Cleoc, you saw it in, what's the language? Arakaka.
50 or 100?
I have my languages on here
I
someplace.
saw 100 in Dwarvish.
Oh, he had a 50 gold piece. No, suddenly it's 100?
I thought I had languages on here someplace.
You each read
There's-
50 gold pieces on it.
There's an exchange rate.
Oh, yes. I can speak
Alright.
Common, Arakakra, Aran, and
I
Elvish.
don't like dwarves.
Okay. Arakakra, you read 50 gold pieces in. Cookie read it in Common. I believe Talon would read it in Common. And Ryu, I believe, would see it in Elven.
Huh.
So you each see it in your most native common tongue. Basically your
That's
birth
weird.
That's handy. It's in my own language.
So celestial, demonic, infernal, common.
So there are more of me up here.
How unfortunate.
tongue.
Which
Yay
means
for
I've heard of
magic
you.
money, right?
So it's gonna take Cleoc a little while to get used to paper money being the being a substitute for gold.
Absolutely. But it's a lot easier to carry.
A hell of a lot lighter.
Yep.
But imagine that the street vendors don't all accept it.
Actually, says Gari, all of the port cities that have a galactic bank all the merchants there will take it. Now, on smaller worlds like that desert planet we went to, that you guys bought stuff, yeah, there they wouldn't take it. So it's still good to have some precious gems or metallics on you still, but any of the major locations will take all of the paper.
Maybe about
because it's
90% or
understood.
more in the bank or so. Alright.
But you can always go and exchange it at the bank, in, out, whatever you need to do. And they can, when you take it out, you can have it put in gems or coins or whatever you need it to be.
So if I were to gain some of these pieces of paper and accidentally lose them, would that mean that I still have that amount of money in the bank?
You would want to head back to the bank quickly and inform them, in which case they would ask for all your current bills remaining on you, and they would purge all others, so they'll actually become just mundane pieces of paper. In which case
Interesting.
they're flammable. And then they would issue however much you need. If someone takes it to the bank and exchanges it before you get there, then yes, you do lose that. But that's the only way you lose it.
Very well.
And then it's usually only if there was some miscommunication, because if it's taken in theft, it usually seems to have a theft imprint on it, and they actually just confiscate it and hold it for you. They actually were trying to get a system opened on your home planet. They had a dragon lady who was going around the globe there trying to set up some shops.
Well, that seems like they've thought of everything.
Well, they have been spacefaring far longer than any of the rest of our races.
So let me get this straight. That piece of paper is bound to you then?
Yes.
Meaning you couldn't give it to me to make it...
Oh, no,
to
I
withdraw.
can. If I give it to you freely, then it's marked as such. But if there's, theft or something like that, then it's...
Let me guess. Magic.
Well, you did see the script on the back, right?
Yes.
I don't know any
Yeah, it was
major
in
wizard that
Dwarvish.
can read that.
It's fireproof. Magic.
Yonovan,
Yeah,
he
no.
was saying the script on the back, not the front. Not the front that was in Dwarvish that said 50
Ah.
gold pieces. On the back, you just saw a whole bunch of arcane scrawlings that you couldn't decipher.
I see.
Fair enough.
I've heard of plenty of wizards that have tried to decipher their script, and I've not heard of anyone ever succeeding.
Because they haven't tried a warlock.
Has
A
Emrakul tried?
warlock tried as well, of course. It's something to do sometimes when you're, passing these long voyages between locations. Sometimes it's fun to find something to do. So he actually tried figuring it out once. Couldn't do it.
He gave
He
up
said
too
it
soon,
almost
huh?
seemed like it was shifting or detecting his reading of it and shifted so that it then wasn't what it was.
Makes sense.
All right.
I warned the party that I'm going to go downstairs and work on the crystals.
Anyway, Cleok in some order is going to take a long rest, if it's not implied.
Yeah, I figured you all would be taking rest. It sounded like you guys were planning on heading back to port.
Yep.
Okay.
Goes out a couple of weeks.
Well, one, we're out of jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Two, we have a reward waiting there.
You do.
And we can
also-
buy stuff.
Yeah.
And rewards like that you get for doing a mission like that are going to be handed to the group, so you guys can distribute as you see fit. If you personally locate or acquire in a rush, like we did that box, then it would just be yours to do share or not, as you see fit.
Yes. So I'm a little bit advanced. Well, no, I'll wait. On the ship, let's see. I don't know.
It's going to be a few weeks to a couple months journey. What does everyone want to do?
So Cleok in some order will go back to the armory and examine ranged weapons this time.
Just a note. In the armory, you're next door to me in my workshop.
No, the workshop is downstairs on the back
Oh.
of the ship. The armory is on the top, on the front of the ship.
Never mind then.
Smithy is next to the workshop.
Perfect.
Anyway, Cleok will examine and try out various ranged weapons in the armory, eventually settling on a longbow, if any are available.
Indeed, there are.
After Cleac settles on a longbow, Cookie figures out, you know what? He should be the one to use +1 arrows, and gives him 20 +1 arrows.
Cleok, you now
Well,
have +1 arrows. You can mark that down.
if they hit, they're gone.
Well, at least they take more damage. Oh wait, you mean they're
They're no longer +1 arrows. They're one shot.
oh dang.
If you miss, well, actually, I think you might be able to reuse it, but I'm not sure about
50-50?
that.
I think
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah,
25
I don't.
or 50% chance.
No.
Anyway, I would assume that I'm going to take some normal arrows as well, because I wouldn't want
Yeah.
to waste premium ammunition on.
Yeah, and you can just mark off a little bit for reimbursing the ship for the usage. That way they can, keep the armory stocked. They keep it stocked so people can replace their lost and damaged equipment, but they also mean they have to keep up with the fund, so they
So
actually
I've
have
got
a donation box in there to help keep the ship funded.
So I've got the longsword and the longbow on loan at the moment,
You can just
or I could
pay for
potentially
it.
buy it from the ship as
Yeah,
well.
they have a donation box in there that you just drop the money into.
Okay, I'll look up the book price on that.
Okay.
Pretty sure I can afford both.
Yeah,
second-
I'm pretty sure you can now.
You just fill the box with copper.
The second thing on this long journey is at some point in time he's going to want to talk to Emrakul and try and find out a little bit more about him, considering he wasn't expecting to be teleported to the other ship like that.
Yeah.
If he's willing to talk. Seeing his power firsthand, he's not going to push it if it looks like he's getting agitated.
Well, Cookie tends to the wounded while there is still wounded on the ship and resumes his cooking duties, wondering what it all means. I'm not really sure I want to practice this magic on such a confined space. My friends aren't very happy with it.
Yeah. Well, it's great and risky.
Mm-hmm.
Ryu's taking a little rest and then keeping an eye on Yonovan. Yonovan's gone down to the workshop to work on the crystals.
Oh, how long is our journey?
We said 2 or 3 months.
It's a long ways.
It's a few weeks to a few months. We will roll to determine that momentarily.
Yeah. Okay. In my spare time, Cookie spends 30 minutes a day tinkering around with his dagger.
Okay.
Let me look up the details.
Does that actually help?
It could. It'll certainly do something.
Oh no. We've had it certainly do something before.
Where are you? There's Johnny. Alright. Oh, you like that? Alright. Magic items. Oh no, I can't do it.
What?
What's up?
I built myself a limitation into the system of magic. I need to have more mastery before I can make any magic items. That's good.
If we could start making like +1 equipment, then that would be
Well, I start trying to create a deflective dagger, and it doesn't really get anywhere.
Oh, so now you're the one who blew up the ship trying to.
I'm trying to stop things from happening.
I'm a scapegoat, man.
I keep practicing on the arrow, keeping the ray of frost.
It wasn't my fault, I just didn't know that.
And Cleoc would also, considering it's a long journey, when he's not searching for equipment or finding out stuff about Embercoal, which I assume is not going to take all the weeks. Go back
we'll deal with that in a minute. I'm trying to find the rules on the flight distance, so just keep going. I am listening.
But then, also, continue sparring with the crew / training / all of that stuff. Practice!
/ murdering the week.
No. You can't murder the weak, come on. But if they turn it back...
Now, accidents happen, but Cleoc would be doubly sure to not accidentally kill any of the people he is sparring and or training with.
How can you be doubly sure?
He sure
Practice
twice.
weapons. Non-lethal approaches, and worst case scenario, I could say, Cookie, this guy's bleeding out!
Alright, yeah!
Also, there is this doctor. There's a doctor on the ship.
He broke his wrist! In 3 places. Again! Darn it!
So,
Yeah, stop doing that.
it's going to take 4 weeks to
Woohoo.
get back.
Okay.
And so you guys travel. And travel. And travel. And Cleoc talks to Gari.
Oh, I'm talking to Gari.
Sorry, Emrakul, not Gari. You said Emrakul. And you may speak with him.
Captain, do you have a moment?
Certainly. How can I help you, Kleok?
I was a little curious. You know, in our little excursion with the enemy ship.
Indeed. Oh, what about?
Well, needless to say, we don't know much about you still, and needless to say, you caught us. You certainly caught me by surprise when you teleported us to the enemy ship. So,
Okay.
I'm a little bit, a little curious as to, you know, what more can you do?
Well, I use my mental abilities to do a lot of things.
Mental abilities.
My
So,
race is naturally attuned to what some would call psionics.
is that like magic? Or
It's similar. We do enjoy traveling the astral planes, but I was born on this side, not that side, and I've always enjoyed realm space a little bit more than the astral plane. So, here I spend my days.
I see. So, I couldn't help but notice that you were fighting, you know, while we were on the enemy ship. You were fighting with what seemed to be their captain, who seemed to
Yes.
have powers similar to yours.
No. His were actually arcane in nature. He was, actually the pilot and captain of that ship. Which is why when he went down, it started losing power.
Ah,
I went ahead and had, Gary acquire the ship's device for traveling. So that ship is just going to plummet and be dismantled on the ground due to this lovely aspect called gravity.
I know that well. But still, I must ask if would the same thing happen to our ship if that happened to you?
No, I'm not the pilot. I'm just the captain. I control where the ship goes, but I have the employ of someone who permits the ship to actually move.
I see.
It, most of these devices require the arcane spark to be able to permit transit. It's just never been my forte.
So have I seen anybody on the ship that would meet? I'm not asking Emrakul. I'm doing this. Have I actually seen said wizard?
No, you've not seen anyone on the ship who you would label as an arcane caster, other than the ones in your party.
And I'll say out loud, it's like, I haven't actually seen anyone that fits that description besides
Indeed,
us.
you have not.
Can I infer that the way you said that makes me wary about pushing farther?
You get the feeling he's probably not going to tell you even if you tried. That's a secret that he knows and no one else needs to know. I mean, there's a divine
But I assume I've been on the
caster
ship.
of weak level.
I've been on the ship long enough to know that the only room that I probably don't have access to is this wizard's quarters.
That you've seen no one go to, yes.
And Kleok doesn't push any farther on the wizard bit.
Okay. The only other caster sort you've seen is the low-level cleric that they have that works the med bay
The doc-
as the doctor. But yeah, they Gary's Emerald's race is of naturally psionic type, as he told you. So that's why he.
Do I feel him
magic
ever
lines.
probing into my mind?
You have not felt that.
I have no more.
You do notice that his sword doesn't seem to be what you'd normally think of someone having for a sword. It almost seems like it's polished silver.
Like, is it a long sword or rapier or
His is like a katana, more so.
a katana? Okay. Anyway, Cleoc has no more questions at this time regarding his
Okay.
powers or background or anything like that.
Alright. So where would you like to go from there? Cookie's been doing his studying and practicing and such. Yonovan. Man! You only needed 2 more checks. That's disappointing. The third one would have been fun. You gotten some out of the way last time, so you happened to finish it off and find a way to do it. So now you have advantage on working with the crystal to actually produce usable
Oh, thank goodness.
materials as a gunpowder replacement.
I was just rolling 3 because I did 3 last time. I didn't know how many I
but
actually needed to
you
do.
succeeded on 2. You need to succeed 4 times,
Okay.
or crit. Would
I mean,
count
I
as
did
2.
I did crit. The 24 is a crit.
Right. So you critted, and then you got a batch made. So you find it, and now you actually can replace some of your powder with that.
Cool. And that does what for me?
It replaces your gunpowder, so it's no longer flame-based. And
Okay.
you're able to modify your gun to use that and use arcane power, which you basically use like a cantrip as
Okay.
part of your attack action to ignite the crystal dust, and it basically propels it with force power instead of gunpowder explosion. That way you don't have to worry about causing combustion.
Uh-huh.
Alright, anyone else? We have Cleoc training and talking with the captain, Cookie's playing with his book and cooking for everyone. Yanovan's working in his workshop tinkering. Ryu, Talon, anything particular?
Probably trying to go over my spells that I have. That. Every now and then helping Cookie out with the food. Training, that's about it.
Okay.
Ryu is twiddling with magic while she watches Yonovan and tries to make sure he doesn't blow up the entire building.
On
And
the
if
contrary,
anything goes...
as you watch him, you see that he's like, I got it! And then he makes this huge batch of, like, it's like a bucket's worth of this purple powder that he then stashes into his pouch on his side.
Yeah.
And he modifies his gun with a little crystal on the side of it.
Interesting. Does that help you hit things?
Unless he decides to try it out on you.
That's what I was half expecting.
Yeah. I have a feeling that Yanovan's probably going to resist. At least on the ship.
Maybe practicing would be a good idea for you.
Yeah, it's up to him. He could practice if he wants.
Does the
Yanovan,
ship
make a
have some sort of target range?
Not really, but Cleox has set
Kind
up
of
a
bad.
makeshift one on the top.
Hmm. Donovan, I saw that Cleoc has set up some target practice. Perhaps you should go participate as well.
Yanovan.
I have a feeling I'll destroy his targets. But you're right. I should go practice.
We need a d20 on the table. Rio will follow him, and after he's done a shot, she's going to do a shot with Eldritch Blast.
Okay, give me just a second. I'm checking something here.
Am I still muted? Why is it not unmuting? There we go.
I heard you.
I heard you.
Did you hear the statement about going up and
Eldritch
also
Blast.
doing Eldritch Blast? Okay, sorry. The app is slow to say that I'm unmuted.
That's fine. I didn't know if you had heard me say just a moment or not, so that's why I was asking if you did.
I must not have heard that the app was cutting out, I guess.
There is a d20 on the table. Yanovan, do you want to give it a whirl and see how you do?
Sure.
That'd be a hit. You see a very different sounding noise come from his gun. And instead of like the fiery orange reddish color, you see like a blast of like purple. And you see like a purple trail fly and hit the target, and it's just like huge chunk blown off.
Cool.
And then looks like you fire, and what's your modifier? On 11?
So the 16 is all.
16 is total? Okay, so you hit.
Yep.
And blast off a little chunk. Cleoc, you see that Yanovan and Ryu are up there now, playing with your target that you set up and blasting chunks off it. It's just a bunch of scraps of straw and old potato sacks that you kind of threw together.
It'd been great if I did 3d6 for damage. I'm gonna see his target just be obliterated.
It would
Cleoc is both a little annoyed that he's going to have to set up a new target, but glad that he's actually practicing. So he just watches. Although a little bit confused about the different sound.
Indeed. So that goes on as you guys get there. Sounds great. Eventually you start pulling into port. You see the familiar sight of your first spaceport coming into view.
Okay. Yay, port. Now, we weren't really good at finding work last time. Maybe we should get some tips on how to find work here. But definitely want to go shopping. Ship me
Cleoc
all
first-
kinds of supplies.
Cleoc first suggests that we go find Louis Ward to make sure that they didn't.
Forget about us.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got a reward, and then we need to talk to someone about the false bounty for the fiendish guy. Ginseng the fiendish. Who would ask the captain? Who who's in charge of issuing bounties like that? I guess I know who I got it from. I could go right to them.
You would. You
It's
could.
been 3 months, but I think I can remember it was in that one little shop, or was it the notice board?
Do you remember? It has been in game. It has
Who
been
found it?
a couple months.
It wasn't necessarily
So-
me who found it either.
I remember rolling particularly poorly on my. Yeah. I think Cleoc was too busy, buying clothes with Rio or something like that.
There's the box you guys get for your reward from your quest for Munda. On top of the other trinkets that you've been given. There's also a few other little gadgets in the box.
Okay.
Few other gadgets.
That works out to 121 each for gold.
Seemingly unrelated. What language is the list in?
Common.
Of course.
How do you copy things from the text box?
You don't. That's not cool.
You can't copy that?
Nope.
Oh, that's terrible.
That is bad. Should place in the general channel.
Yeah, now that I know that. That one's not there anymore, though, because I left the page.
I got it. It's fine.
Okay, I'll do that from now on. I'll just put it in Discord channel. What do you guys want to do now that you've acquired your stuff?
Well, we can either we need to go to a bank and exchange stuff and go shopping. So we need to decide if we want to keep the things we have or exchange them, sell them for gold.
All the raw cash items are exchanged for gold, gems and such.
Yeah. Is there any magical items that we can buy for gold, or is it strictly just the common items on the in the standard list?
You would have to do a investigation to see if you're able to track down a magic item. And then we will see what kind of magic items are available.
Okay, but so they are available, which is different than standard. Okay.
It's rare, but yes, it can be done.
Okay. Well, then I will be doing that in a sec.
So I guess let's check out this bank thing, or is this we're just
Yeah,
gonna
let's go
hand
to
wave
the
it
bank.
and just say we get our stuff.
The
I think
bank
we're
or
all going to go to
something.
the bank.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
gonna
that-
go to the bank.
Will that jagged shard of sapphire wake up someone who's unconscious?
What? Why would a shard of sapphire wake up someone who's unconscious?
There's a jagged shard of sapphire.
Temporary hit points, so no.
Okay. That'd be a pretty awesome way, though. Stab someone to wake them up. It's like a EpiPen.
68 temp. Ow!
And if I remember right, the ciphers are just one-time use consumables.
Yeah, one-time use consumables. They're kind of like potions, but they're other different flavor. They're a way I can give you kind of magic items without being magic items.
A lot of temporary hit points. 48.
Let's see for the ones. Still, that's more temporary HP.
Let's see, what is my investigation?
Do y'all want to find a magic shop? I can find things.
Cookie wants to find the notice board where Ginseng the Fiendish was reported, or the company where it was located. I did a 16 investigation to find that.
You don't remember where that was?
I don't, but I should be able to find it if it's still around here.
Let's see.
Okay, well, you can roll to see if you can recall and locate it.
Interesting. Sounds like very comfortable armor.
What are these?
Perception too, looking for it.
Those are a few other little items that were in the box that you got.
Okay.
It had the Morio shards.
Right.
Which
Okay.
was just a little book. And it looks like Ryu got an 8 investigation to find a magic shop. Ryu, you hear of this place called Jimmy's Curiosities.
And I got a really sucky roll. Haha.
I think I'm going to go to Jimmy's Curiosities. I hope they have some good curiosities there.
Okay. You walk in.
Well,
The
Cookie,
rest
I
of
am
the-
no help to you.
Did you go with them to the bank? Or not?
Yeah, we all went to the bank,
We all went to
deposited
the bank.
most of our money.
So we'll do that in a second. Or we'll pick up on Jimmy's Curiosities in a moment. You're finding that out while you guys are at the bank. So at the bank, you guys see this giant. And those of you who know giants, or could potentially, you can roll a check to see if you can recall details.
I speak giant.
History check?
Yes.
Cool.
It's basically recalling what you know about giants.
I'm not proficient, but I am smart.
That's a 9, even though I speak giant.
Okay. Plus what for your history?
0.
Oh. Well.
Cool, I got a
like,
20 on my history check.
I was
Plus
going to
2.
say, I think Yanovan got it. Yanovan, you recall the largest of giants are storm giants. They tend to be good aligned, but you still don't like them. They're giants. However,
Yeah, it could squish me in an instant.
these giants have blue skin and make those giants look small.
It's a massive giant?
Not like tiny. They don't make them look like halflings, but They're a good head and shoulder above the biggest storm giant you can recall.
We talking 20 feet tall?
I believe it's more like 30, 35, because I believe storm giants can get 25.
Oh, great. Let me get my telescope out to look at them.
Oh, you walk in on ground floor and you have this huge face standing there.
That's great.
Welcome, little ones, to the bank. How can I help you?
Who are you calling the... Oh! Hi.
You could probably crawl up his nose if you wanted to.
Cookie speaks giant.
I bow.
Hello?
What
Whoa.
language you speak? That sounds like low giant. We don't talk that.
Sorry. Switches
talk-
to common.
You talk tall giant?
We have our own language. Thank you.
I attempt to politely say, "Excuse my friend here for any." Oh, I can't even think of the right word for it.
Rudeness?
Prisoners
Smallness.
rolling out.
Alright.
We heard about this bank here, and we thought we would maybe deposit some money.
Certainly. Step up one at a time and lay that which you wish to deposit before you.
All right. Cookie steps up and puts down 500 gold pieces.
Okay.
Jeez.
Mark that off, and mark down you have 500 in the bank. And he winks and it disappears. And how much of that, sir, would you like in script?
Probably
Cookie, you feel this warmth
mm.
wash over you, like something just peered inside you, to your very essence.
Probably 200.
Would you like that in one script, or would you like that in smaller script portions?
Kind of, a basic distribution.
Very well.
Like,
what you were just thinking appears before you.
okay. So 300 still. Well, it's all in the bank, but
Right.
I have only credits out. That makes a lot of sense.
Right? Very well. Who is next?
I'm assuming that they'll take gems as well.
Yeah.
Expert appraisers, probably.
Yeah. Cookie, you do see one extra piece of paper that states 300 unscripted. So you have a document stating how much unscripted you currently have. And
So
it's labeled as account details.
I'm assuming I have to go to a store to sell the other non-gem things.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can try to offer to sell them to him if you would like.
Nah.
Cleox steps up next.
Welcome, sir. How can I help you?
I'd like to deposit. Let me see if I have my math right. 300.
Everyone did get the 121 gold piece I told you, right?
How much?
121.
Oh, I need to add that. Yeah, 121.
Was that
And
a
then-
portion of the group fund?
Yes, that was
And
from
it
the
was-
group fund.
And it was 59 earlier?
Correct.
590 gold total in copper, silver, gold pieces, and gem to the bank.
Very good, sir. Disappears. You also feel a warmth kind of wash over you. Would you like any of that in script, sir?
Sure. I will take. I'll take 100 of it.
Preference on denominations?
Since we're new at this, what are standard denomination?
1, 5s, 10s, 20s, 50s, 100s. You know, pretty standard.
I'll have 520.
There you go, sir. You have a wonderful day. You also have a piece of paper saying account status. You said 5, you took 1, so 490 unscripted. Have a nice day, sir.
Thank you.
Would anyone else care to have services today?
I am bringing up bags of things.
Does he actually buy the stones?
Oh, he will take fine gems and metallics, so coins.
Okay.
Other items, mundane items, equipment, stuff like that, he has not taken, but no one's really offered necessarily, because this is
Yeah.
more, seems to be a monetary location, not so much a
Okay.
item location.
I I put all my coins on the table there for him. I don't require any unscripted.
Very well, sir. Disappears, you get your piece of paper.
Cool.
Rio's gonna put 400 gold pieces up there.
How do y'all have so much gold?
Same with you. Disappears. How much
so-
of that would you like scripted, madame?
I have 10 20s, 5 10s, and 10 5s.
There you go. And of course, you know your balance. All right. Talon, did you want to put any in?
I'll put 280 worth of gold pieces, copper, silver, and gold all
Okay.
together.
Did you want any script or no script?
200 script.
Okay. So you get that, mark it how you want. So you guys all can keep track of your money now, but just keep track of that's in the account. And that way you don't have to worry about lugging it around. Anywhere that there's a galactic bank, you can make a withdrawal.
For what it's worth, I did keep 2 of the 50 gold gems on me.
Yep. That's fine. And that I'm trusting you guys to keep track of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I do normally.
I kept 100 gold and 100 silver on me.
So, all right. You all have a fine day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Does anybody lay claim to these items we still had here?
The first one I grabbed.
We
Okay,
can sort
thank-
that out as things go on as well.
Plus
That's
1 to
fine.
hit.
Okay,
Yeah.
so searching for the magic shop.
I want one of the temp HP.
Yep. So Rhea went to Jimmy's Curiosities.
Yeah. Also, of the items, I want one of the ones that does temporary HP. I'm looking for some magic items. What do you got?
I got all the good stuff. You have this rabbit fur, makes you lucky. And we have this... I'm not even sure what this item is, but it looks really cool, and it does really awesome things. And it looks like a petrified cow brain or something. You're not quite sure. It's like, hey, we got this other thing. This other thing's really cool. It's like this dark orb. And just sitting there.
What's the dark orb do?
Oh, it's really awesome. You want it?
Can I look at it for a sec?
Sure.
Rio's going to examine it, probably without touching it first. don't want to break anything that you can't afford.
Right. By what means are you examining it? How describe said investigation of said black orb?
Well, I would think it would be an Arcana check if I'm trying to decide if it actually is magical or if he's just pulling my leg.
Indeed.
Come on, good roll, good roll, good roll. Yes, 20.
It does appear to have some sort of magic to it, as you see some movement.
Does it appear to be anything I could recognize or the nature?
Not as of yet. You have not come across one of this in your travels.
How much is it?
It is, how much you got? You got like 100 gold?
Make a deception check.
100 gold?
I'm going to
Big
make an
deal.
intimidation
Half price.
check.
Uh-oh.
Are you trying to sell this to me for whatever I've got?
No. I'm just trying to make a living.
Then what's the price? And that was a 23 intimidation.
You see him get kind of scared. I can go down to 75? Is it okay?
Rio's gonna think for a second.
Has anyone gone with the shop with Rio, or is he just all by
Nope.
himself?
Rio's by herself.
Yep. She'll give him 4 of the 20s and tell him to keep the change.
Thank you, sir.
Should have given him 320.
Would you like it back?
Change.
Sorry, I couldn't quite hear that. Did you say, would you like a bag with that?
Yes.
Yeah, I asked for it in a bag.
He scoops it up in a bag and hands it to you.
I take the bag and I say, pleasure doing business with you, and leave.
You too.
So Cleoc's looking for something. He doesn't know exactly what he's looking for, but he knows what he wants. Does that make any sense?
Sure.
Cleoc is kind of annoyed that all of the places they've explored have been completely dark, and he's having to rely on other light sources, like either his new torches or some light cantrip. And he's wondering what other potential options there are that are maybe a little bit more hands-free.
Should be able to find a
Okay.
flameless candle somewhere. Oh, but not hands-free. Ooh.
If
No.
possible, but otherwise,
Yeah.
not necessarily.
In what
I have a
new
means
idea
are
for
you doing
invention.
this? In what means are you doing this acquisition? Are you just asking around town, searching a certain area? Because either it's going to be a persuasion roll, trying to talk to people, or an investigation if you're trying to locate a potential shop that looks like you
He'd
have
probably
certain-
try and he'd look for someone he knows maybe on the ship. Either talking to Emrakul
Okay.
or Gari or someone to ask if such a thing exists, to give him something more to work on, and then do an investigation afterwards.
Okay. They mention a location in the city where there's a lot of different, more interesting potential items. They warn you that, not all of the interesting items are necessarily positive, but there's some very strange ones that sometimes you can find a really nice item as well. So now you get to roll your investigation to see what you can get, and you can have a +2 on it.
Even though persuasion's not, even though
Investigation.
persuasion's better for me, I'd still investigate because
Because now you're searching for what looks right.
21. with that +2.
You find this little shop that says Max's Illuminous. And you see this old guy, looks like he's closing up shop.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. If it wouldn't trouble you, I'm looking for something for a light source.
Oh, yes. We have lots of good lights. What would you like for lights?
Well, you see, here's my
You pull up-
situation.
As you say that, he pulls a plant out, a potted plant, and it's actually glowing under his cloak.
Yeah, yes, quite interesting. But what I'm specifically looking for is I'm a fighter of sorts who goes exploring. I'm a part of a.
Nice weapon.
Thank you. But I like using my weapon two-handed, but I can't see very well in the dark. So I'm looking for something that I could potentially use that's still.
Like my plant. Yes. The plant's like illuminating like all the clothes.
Not quite my style. I'm afraid that
Like stones? He pulls out a stone, and you see the stones giving off basically torchlight.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Or do you prefer candle? He pulls out a candle that he bumps you with, and you don't even feel a burn at all. You don't even feel anything. It's just light. Or what do you like? I have lots of fun things. I like light. I like light. As he says light that time, excited, you like the whole area just like lightens up, and you need to roll a dex to kind of see if you can block quick enough.
Oh. $10?
You don't quite get your eyes shunned in time, and you basically are suffering similar to effect of like a flashbang. So you can still see, but it's like you're in now a dark area. You can't see very well. You're like, oh wow.
Oh, my eyes!
I sorry. I get excited and I make things light. I like light.
I can tell as I'm seeing spots and such.
So what kind of light you want? I mean, it's easy to make things not hold, but make light. See?
Yes,
An orb starts, like a crystal ball, a small one, starts floating around his head, and it is giving off, basically torchlight as well. What kind of light you want? I have more light inside.
Yes. But
You see more light?
I mentioned. Let's talk about your crystal orb.
Okay. It's nice. I have more. Want one?
Maybe, but I can see that it's floating around. So that's it is kind of what I'm looking for. It's like does it follow you around everywhere?
If I tell it to.
And how long does the light last?
Till I tell it to go away.
Till you tell it to go away. So it's never going to like run out or burn out like a torch or a standard candle. You don't think so?
This one's been going for 150 years.
150 years. I want to make a. While he's talking to me, I want to make an insight check to make sure that I'm not being swindled too much here.
Schemed.
Non-wizard goes to a wizard shop.
You're completely unconvinced if this old man is trying to swindle you or if he's being blatantly honest.
That's a 7, but yeah.
There's no indication.
So, how much is your floaty stone then?
Which one you want? The crystal, the little stone, the other candle floating around your head. You see he just keeps tossing things up in the air and they just start floating around his head. The potted plant, and it starts floating around his head.
I point to one of the point to one of these stones.
Oh, the little stone. Here you go. Snatches it out of the air. All the others like start clattering down to the ground and then disappear into his cloak.
Ah.
So how much does this cost?
They usually buy like a whole house worth at once. They don't usually price them singles.
Well, you see, remember, I'm an adventurer. I go out into the dungeons. I just need one to follow me around. I don't.
Yeah, I'm not used to that. I don't usually have people do that. But I could do 100 gold. It takes a lot of energy, but I could do 100 gold for one.
A lot of energy, because you just told me that these last forever. Do I have to like power it back up?
No, I have to make it a lot of energy to make it stay up long.
Can I assume my original insight check is would apply to whether I'm being swindled on price too?
You could. I would think so. It's not really shifted in tone at all. You want? It's really cool.
It is, but do you have anything just a little bit less expensive? I'm not.
I don't really. It costs a lot for stone. And it's a lot of work. Cheaper.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
A candle?
Can I at least touch the stone first?
Yeah. He basically pushes it towards you again. His hand's already been holding it out towards you.
Okay, and I grab it. And so how does it work?
You're holding it, and all of a sudden you feel this sensation of like a friend near you or something. It's like you get the feeling like you want to tell this stone what to do.
So I give the word light.
All of a sudden you see the lights in your hand, like you're holding a torch.
And I try and will it to float around me.
What do you say?
Float.
It levitates in place.
I take a step backwards.
It stays levitating in place.
Follow.
It moves over towards you.
And then I take another step back.
And it avoids getting hit by you and stays right near you.
Is there space in this shop?
You're outside in the street right now.
Outside.
Oh, outside in the
He
street
was
right now.
Shutting up. He was locking his door. Started to lock his door when you walked up.
So you're
His key's still in
outside.
the door.
I make a few like like practice punches and kicks to like if I was in a combat situation.
Okay. And you don't seem to hit the light at all, but it still seems to be floating there, casting its light. He's like, so, you buy? Nice, yeah?
And you say this has lasted 150 years and doesn't require recharging.
This one hasn't. This one I made last week. This one, points to the big crystal ball floating around his head. This was the first one. I made it 150 years ago.
Ah, yes. But from what you know, the ones you have made, they have lasted a long, long time.
I hadn't heard anyone saying they go off. Except when I tell them to go off. Then they go off.
And I tell the stone around my head to go off. To turn off.
It's dim.
And I grab it out of the air and say, very well, you have a deal.
Mark it off. Thank you, sir.
And I give him my 100 script.
Okay. He pockets it. You see he turns around, locks the door. Oh, right. It's nighttime. It's starting to get dark. You see he walks over to one of the light poles nearby. They're all dim. And you see he says something, and all the lights in the city just flip on. Like street lights. Just...
Oh my god.
And what was your name again? Max.
Yeah.
Max the street lighter.
Good
He's
grief.
the
I
man.
like light.
This one's bright.
Well, thank you, Max, the street lighter.
No, not Street Lighter. Just Max the Luminous.
Max the
Or just
Luminous.
Maximus! Maximus!
And I bow and say, thank you very much.
Indeed. Have a nice day. And he starts walking off down the street kind of slowly as someone who's extremely old would do.
I'm assuming super bright with a plant that's coming out.
Mhm.
Nothing.
There is magical plants that actually can be cultivated that actually shed light. A lot of wizards use them for lighting their areas because they just grow as a vine and shed light when it's dark.
Right.
So,
So he's an expert
I
in all
tried-
things light.
meanwhile, since the party's obviously split, Cookie's out trying to find notice boards, particularly for work. He'll keep an eye out on new work, but he's also looking for Ginseng the Fiendish.
Okay. Roll
And
your
he had a
investigation.
16.
Oh, 16?
Yeah, 16
Okay.
investigation.
Did you go to the bank with us earlier?
Yes.
Oh, then I'll go with you to your next spot.
Okay.
No reason to split us up further. And I have a 22 investigation to help you.
Give me just a moment. I'm trying to find that random one. This random stuff makes my life a lot easier.
Evidently, I can roll just fine when we're out of combat.
Right? Or maybe it's just this session opposed to last session.
If your random thing could find the rope of eyelids, that'd be cool.
I could try. I doubt it's going to find it again. It's not quite that good at it.
But luckily, there's these videos that he's recorded.
It might have been in the video. It might not. Oh,
It should
no,
be.
but guess what? It's much simpler than that. It's in Discord.
Should be.
It is.
We lost Ryu.
Well, Ryu just came back.
Yeah, it was weird. It just said disconnected, and so I rejoined.
Yeah.
It's bad that I found a small standee of a rat, and so I'm moving it around the ship.
A little bit. I saw that you found that. And it made me laugh that you just keep moving it around and playing with it.
Put it in the crow's nest, because that's where Rio would be.
You found my pet rat?
I did.
I prefer, like a pet bunny or something.
Yanaman's cat.
Maybe I prefer a pet. I could have a pet cat to chase off the pet rat.
So next time we have downtime on the boat, I do want to ask Donovan about his cat and curse and see what actually caused it to happen.
I thought he explained everything he knew, unless he's hiding something from us.
He gave us a very, very short version on the last adventure.
We were in combat.
Yeah.
Speaking its name did seem to summon it, to be fair.
And I was very panicky when everyone's talking about cat, and he's like, "Meow, meow."
Give,
I'm getting attacked as you're mentioning it. I'm like, stop it!
well, Kleok we're in a what he considers a safer location. He would be more likely to pry in the sense that if the cat does attack him, then we can we're not in mortal danger. Donovan might be in mortal danger, but
I am
That's
sorry I'm
evil.
having troubles finding this. I apologize. I knew where it was and I can't find it again for some reason.
Oh. Well, you could make up a new one.
Ah, there we go.
Honey.
Cookie, you are unable to find Ginseng the Fiendish mentioned
Huh.
anywhere.
Okay.
However, you do find...
I was helping him and got a 22 on the investigation.
Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do find a few jobs for ferrying stuff around.
Okay.
So, or being transmitted to a dwarven citadel, foodstuffs being delivered to a few different locations, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Cookie, you are
Yes.
able to then find that Yanovan has found a few other quests.
Okay.
And I thought I found it, but apparently this isn't the other one.
Yanovan, you're blowing into your mic.
Sorry. I was ascending the stairs.
Yanovan, is what you have considered a smith tool check?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure if it's Smith or Tinker's, but it's one of the two.
Okay.
And I get a double my proficiency on rolls for it.
And what was your total, Yanovan? You said 20...
22. I think. Yep.
So, you find...
Just 20, not 22. Just 20.
Okay, 20. You find a old elf named Syagra, seeking a company of adventurers to escort a maiden. In fact, you find out it's his daughter, safely to a dwarven city because they are working to try to make a diplomacy deal. So it's to go pick her up and bring her to a dwarven citadel.
Okay.
There's a priest in town who's seeking some adventurers to recover a caravan of exotic goods, basically a ship of exotic goods from some cultists. Apparently they hit the ship when it was in transit.
Exotic goods. Okay. Do these list any sort of details about distances
No,
involved?
not really. I mean, you'd
Okay.
have to know where their locations are. I mean, they mention a location, but the locations don't mean anything to you yet.
Sure.
I already mentioned that one. There's a person who looks like they used to be an adventurer with their decked out equipment whose name is Frida, seeking people to explore a new system. Just basically check the system out.
Okay. I think we need to bring these to the group, Yanovan. I don't really
There's a
know what
dwarf
to pick.
who's seeking to have people locate a relic that has been taken by some orcs.
I mean, we can also see how much they're willing to pay for each of these.
Yeah, we do. But the pay's probably going to be up there with the risk involved, and we can only take, low-class jobs still.
And then one other one, you see this merchant who wants to know what happened to his friend who was a scholar at a lost, or at it, not lost. He's uncertain where it's located right now, but he knows where it should be and kind of the route it traveled. But he's uncertain where they are because he hasn't heard from them and he doesn't know where they are. It's a scholars, order of scholars and mages that he used to deliver goods to.
Okay. But he doesn't know exactly where they are. Does he know, was there a last known location or something?
Yes.
Okay. So that was pretty useful.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cookie wants to go looking around in a bookstore if he can find one.
Okay. Investigate
Yeah. Give me a second.
and see what kind of book you're looking for.
Do you want to roll with advantage since I'm helping you, or do you want me to roll?
Are you going to help him look for a bookstore?
I see no reason to split the party further than it already is.
No, that's
Yeah.
fine. I didn't know if you wanted to go
No.
acquire materials or shopping or something while he looked for books.
No, I've not thought of any inventions to do yet.
Okay.
Did you get
Let's
my
see if-
Discord, Yonovan?
No.
Check the general channel. But so that's a 17 investigation for me. So helping gives advantage on the roll. That's what it does.
Yes. It's the help.
Okay.
Gives you
I'll
advantage. There you go. So what sort of bookstore are you looking for? Just exotic books, crazy books, mystic books?
So you said mystic books. I lost you.
What sort of books are you looking for?
I'm looking specifically for anything written by Friar Cut.
Okay. The only thing you find is someone's autobiography of their adventures where they had this friar cut, make some meals with them and aid them for a short period of time.
So nothing really definitive by him.
Nothing by him. There's only one book that you mentioned to find mentioning him, so at least he is mentioned at some point, but nothing by him.
Huh. Okay. It's okay. I went looking.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I'll go back to the ship. I want to collect the party and present these jobs to people after they're done shopping.
Okay. Did you want to do any other shopping or anything? Or was
Yes,
it
I
all-
do. I'll handle it out of game.
Okay, that's fine. Anything else for anyone in game? Before we call it an evening?
Nada.
Talon? did you wanna do
Rio
anything?
would show probably what would show the item she purchased to Yonovan and ask if he had any insights on it.
Yonovan? You see a black orb
The store?
in a bag. Did you take it out of the bag, Rio?
Not yet.
What did you do? You just hand him the bag?
I just open up the bag and so that he can look inside of it and say, "Hey, have you seen anything like this before?"
Okay.
I hesitantly reach out and touch it.
Okay.
Look here.
You take a D4 damage. Or not a D4, you take 4 damage
Okay.
as your life just gets sapped.
Have you held this book before?
It's an orb. It's a black orb.
Ryu has a
Oh.
black orb in a bag that you
Oh.
touched.
I hide the reaction of pain from my face and ask him to hand it to me.
Okay.
Okay. Rio's gonna pick it up and hand it to him.
Okay. You take 7 damage when you grab it.
Rio's gonna pretend that she didn't get hurt and she's gonna hand it to him.
Donovan?
There's a little game here.
So people are going to die.
Ryu is extending this orb to you. What do you do?
No, I place it in his hand.
He didn't say whether his hand's outstretched or not.
No, my hands are still outstretched. I told him to
You
place it.
just touched it.
Okay. So it's still outstretched, so you let Ryu put it in your hand.
Yep. I was hoping it was an ownership thing. Guess not.
As it makes contact, you take an additional 2 damage.
So I've taken.
6 total. Are you going to keep holding on to it, or what are you going to do?
I'm going to do an Arcana check on it.
Okay.
By the way, while he's doing that, can I make an additional Arcana check now that it's zapped me?
Yes.
Sure, you can make an Arcana check.
Yes.
He just
24.
got-
That's the second D20 tonight.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
I got 2 20s and a 1.
Ryu, you have no idea what this is.
Heck.
But it hurt. And it seemed to be magical sapping your life. Donovan, you're able to determine this seems to be a siphon of some sort. Basically, it moves energy. So it currently looks like it's just pulling your energy out. However, you don't know if it's something that could be reversed.
Reversed.
If it could be reversed, you like the idea because that would mean it's
Could store
basically
life power. Yeah.
giving. But for
Or I
now,
could just be, giving life to a
it's
lich.
not that, but yes, I know what you're referring to, but we're not playing that game. So yeah, it basically you take a 2d8 necrotic damage every round that you're holding it.
Awesome.
Rio's gonna think back to when the shopkeeper put it in the bag. Did he touch it?
No. And Donovan, after this, you
How
take
did he
an
put-
additional. Since you're still holding it, you take an additional 6.
That's 12 total. Okay. I put it back in his bag and hand it to him.
Okay.
How did the shopkeeper put it in the bag then?
Magic.
You saw him drop the bag on it and kind of scoop it up all at once. Just kind of like pull it up with a bag and hand it to you.
You think you would have mentioned that before, just because that's an odd.
Potentially.
Okay.
So that is done. Mark Black Orb of life sapping or stealing, however you want to call it. For every round you're in contact with it or have it on your possession, not in that bag, you'll take 2d8 damage.
Just in possession, like if it's in my pocket or something, or in a
If it's
in a
not in that
backpack.
bag is actually
Hey.
insulator.
I tell him that when you hold this in your hands, you can focus your energy and sap life from the enemies around you.
Oh,
Hmm.
evil!
I walk off.
Rio's gonna take it and she's gonna go up into the crow's nest and she's gonna try to sap the evil off of the enemies around her, mostly Yonovan.
Okay. So go up in the crow's nest and you take it out.
Okay, I grab it and I try to focus my will.
You take 4 damage.
I put it back in the bag. I put the bag in my pack.
Okay.
Now that's a fascinating thing. What does it take to attune to something that's trying to kill you?
Right?
For any reason, should I be keeping track of how much damage it does to me over the course of our journeys?
No.
Okay.
However,
Figured.
you should keep track of it.
The orb, you mean?
Yes. Because it's still,
Yes, I
still
should.
is your possession. But the amount it does, no. That's indeterminate.
Well, you can throw it at a goblin.
He catches it and does damage.
I got it! Ah!
Don't throw
Or
it
I
at a
could-
skeleton.
Ow, my ear.
Right.
Wait, why?
It will heal them.
Not in 5e.
I could also stash it in Yanovan's backpack.
When Cookie is made aware of this object, he is not.
You can try that if you would like.
Opposite of good. What are
Are we
you
pissed off?
thinking?
Are we pissed off and want blood?
I don't know. This thing is like always going to drain energy. Maybe you could use it as a weapon, but it seems rather foolish.
Oh,
If
big.
if you wear a glove that the same,
It'd have to be
Joanne-
anti-magic.
Turn
Same-
that bag into a glove
that's what I'm saying. The same material as the
So-
and
as
then
the bag.
throw the ball at
So-
things.
So let's put it this way: that bag might be more valuable to us than the orb.
I can think of lots of great ways to use this orb. If you ever want to kill someone who's really high level, you just dump it in their pocket and make sure they can't get it out of their pocket.
Oi! Oi!
You
Hey,
know,
John, what's that glue that you can't remove?
Super
sovereign glue. It
Sovereign.
may or may not exist. It's a
Bad Discord.
sovereign glue is a magic item in this edition.
Hmm.
Yeah. But still, that would be it'd basically be a damage over time spells for as long as you can't get the glue off.
Especially put it on his back. You can't reach it. No.
Well, there's certainly a lot of things you could potentially look into doing with it.
Uh-huh.
Ryu, if this
To-
becomes a problem, yeah, just better not come back to haunt us, because this could kill us in our sleep.
No, I'm pretty sure you'd wake up. It was painful.
Ah!
We might wake up. You're right.
How,
So guys, Yonovan and I came across several. I guess we're back at the ship after shopping.
Yes.
Stuff.
The only person I didn't hear from was Talon. So I guess Talon's just been like stunned,
Lost.
standing out front of the bank the whole time, or following someone around like a lost puppy. I'm not sure which.
Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, we're cutting in and out. This is
Yep.
weird.
How are you doing, Talon?
I was going to see if there's any shops that actually could have magical, gear for armor type. But I don't know.
There's a D20 on the table. Would you like to roll it to see if you can locate one?
Sure.
Investigation check.
Investigation. Great.
Did you hit R on that? I don't think you hit R on
I
that.
rolled it. I picked it up and dropped it.
Okay,
I did.
you actually have to shake it to roll it, or hit
do you mean?
R.
That didn't do.
It just.
There we go. All right. If it just basically bounces and doesn't actually roll, I'm like, So, all right. So 12 plus your investigation.
12.
So 12. Okay. You find a shop that has some finely crafted armor.
Okay. Basically, I can't carry much for it because I'm a wizard. It's a bad thing.
Okay. What kind of armor are you looking for?
Oh.
You guys got a set of light armor in your what do you call it?
Yes, but as a
Delivering
wizard,
rewards.
can you even equip light armor?
I don't remember proficiencies, so I do not know.
That's a question for James.
I don't know.
Do you have light armor proficiency listed on your character sheet?
No.
Then you can't equip it.
Then you cannot equip armor. Do you have shield proficiency?
No.
Then you cannot equip a shield.
Well, technically, they can equip armor and shields. It's just,
Not useful.
yeah.
Saying they can is basically like saying yes, and you can put your leg in a stint and decide that you need to run a marathon. Doesn't mean you'll successfully do so. So, you do find a location. They have plenty of nice items. The best item you find is a robe that is well crafted, and it it seems to have a little bit of defense woven into it, which would allow you to have a +1 to armor. But that is it.
I mean, that's equivalent to leather armor. Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be nice and give him a chance to have something. It
Yeah.
would make sense to have a slightly armored thing. He would have been able to find some masterwork other armors there, but
Yeah. I'll leave.
okay. So you don't want that armored robe?
It's as good as I got on.
No, it's a robe that gives you +1 armor. What do you have on?
So. Alright.
As far as I know, what you have on is just a unspecial robe, which is just cloth.
Yeah.
So basically, you usually only get your dex bonus towards armor when you're wearing cloth. This would give you a +1 on top of that.
Okay, so that's what. Okay. Alright. That. Yeah, it's probably helpful.
Okay, so you want to get it?
Yeah, and how much would it be?
25 gold.
Okay.
All right. And that is what we'll pick up next week, gentlemen. Feel free to hang around and chat about which of the quests you want to do and let me know. Until then, though, we will see you guys next week for more fun space adventures.
And this